Sports Block, SVG's newest sports commentary program on Bay Hill News Network, featuring hosts Roxell John and Warren Ollivierre. Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Informative? Check. Interactive? Check. Heated and opinionated? Check. Look out for special guests each week. Log on and speak out by calling 529-8518 to the Sports Block. Saturdays, 6 to 9 p.m. only on Bay Hill News Network.
Looking for a place to relax with natural cool breeze and friendly surroundings? Then check the Bay Hill Tree Bar, located at Bay Hill Cane Garden. We have everything a bar will have. We also sell Shell 20 pounds cooking gas at the Bay Hill Tree Bar.
The Sports Block, SVG's newest sports commentary program on Bay Hill News Network, featuring hosts Roxell John and Warren Ollivierre. Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Informative? Check. Interactive? Check. Heated and opinionated? Check. Look out for special guests each week. Log on and speak out by calling 529-8518 to the Sports Block. Saturdays, 6 to 9 p.m. only on Bay Hill News Network.
Great news! Spectra Plus is now rolling out internet and TV services in St. Lucia and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Yes, better service and better prices from the new and improved Spectra Plus. Spectra Plus TV plans for $59.99 per month, VAT included. Adult TV 3 channels plus $29.99. For more information, call 1784-534-2551 or 1784-532-2501. Fast, reliable broadband and television services for your home or business. Spectra Plus TV, internet, better.
The Sports Block, SVG's newest sports commentary program on Bay Hill News Network, featuring hosts Roxell John and Warren Ollivierre. Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Informative? Check. Interactive? Check. Heated and opinionated? Check. Look out for special guests each week. Log on and speak out by calling 529-8518 to the Sports Block. Saturdays, 6 to 9 p.m. only on Bay Hill News Network.
Looking for a place to relax with natural cool breeze and friendly surroundings? Then check the Bay Hill Tree Bar, located at Bay Hill Cane Garden. We have everything a bar will have. We also sell Shell 20 pounds cooking gas at the Bay Hill Tree Bar.
The Sports Block, SVG's newest sports commentary program on Bay Hill News Network, featuring hosts Roxell John and Warren Ollivierre. Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Informative? Check. Interactive? Check. Heated and opinionated? Check. Look out for special guests each week. Log on and speak out by calling 529-8518 to the Sports Block. Saturdays, 6 to 9 p.m. only on Bay Hill News Network.
Well, welcome back to the Sports Block. Yes, we are on the Sports Block. I have been on Facebook
Welcome back to the Sports Block. Yes,
I'm Roxell John.
The Sports Block. Welcome to
and you are on the Sports Block edition number 2, Warren, and we're gonna get things going. Well, a lot in store for our viewers and listeners this evening, Warren. But let's first of all, happy Easter to you and the family.
Bay Hill News Network. I'm Roxell John. And you are on the Sports Block edition number 2, Warren, and we're gonna get things going. What? A lot in store for our viewers and listeners this evening, Warren. Well, let's first of all say happy Easter to you and the family.
But Warren, I heard yesterday you were in the kitchen doing your do with those famous
just been quiet, just trying to make sure I get back into the vibe of doing things with a little less restrictions to this.
To quite a few different things that has happened during the past week. which would also include our very own Lady Heat, some topics on our Vincy Heat, which will be going forward to the Nation League competition coming up, and many more things. So.
Yes, Warren, you're correct. Hot, well, very hot topics on the cards for you this evening, and you may be cross at the end of the evening on some of our comments and some of our views, but that's what we are here about in our sports block. Yes, we're sponsored this evening again by the Bay Hill Tree Bar and Spectra Plus. Remember, for your best internet service in St. Vincent and Grenadines, you can also get a really nice package as it relates to internet and cable TV, and you can get that at Spectra Plus. And right here at the Bay Hill Tree Bar, that's where we are. We are located this evening again. You can get your chicken and fries, you can get your shark and fries, you can get your fish and fries, and a number of drinks stocked in the bar there for you, Warren, when we're done.
I can't wait for us to finish. So I had my shark and fries last week. It was absolutely wonderful, and I'm hoping to get that this evening. I hope it's already on the fire and going, so we could get that when we're finished.
Remember, you can interact with us at 529-8518, 529-8518. Just remember, you can call at any time, call about any topics. We have a number of things we want to bring to you this evening. We're going to talk about Lady Heat. They lost their final World Cup qualifier, and for me, the FF got it wrong again.
Again.
Okay?
Yeah.
2, Vincy Heat just under a month and a half left in terms of their preparation for the CONCACAF Nations League Edition 2. Where are we? Are we ready? We're going to hear from one of the big bosses as it relates to that unit, and some other items. We gave our viewers, our listeners, the names of those locally based players. Right. We also have an updated list, some names of an updated list that we can give. But are we ready? Are we ready at this stage? Are we where we should be at this stage in preparation for our second edition of the CONCACAF sojourn? We're going to have some special guests tonight, Warren, from the netball fraternity, right. The America's Netball. Yes, America's Netball is coming back to St. Vincent. Well, let's say coming to St. Vincent, and we're going to have another big tournament in St. Vincent and Grenadines, and we're going to have some special guests from the America's Netball this afternoon as we get into some of these items.
This is great for us. Hopefully we could also get into other sports as well. This is actually pretty lovely for us. I hope we have a good turnout for the viewing of that netball tournament and so on. So this is great news.
Sports education is also on our list of items this evening. Hopefully we'll have one of our more decorated Vincentian personnel as it relates to sport education around the world in North America, and also has worked a bit with us in St. Vincent and Grenadines. He should be with us this evening. We're not going to give you the names just yet. When they do come on, you would see the kind of quality guests that we do have on our program. St. Vincent and Grenadines in the Crafter matchups already, in the Crafter events already. We didn't have a very bad showing so far this morning in the opening sessions of day one, and we also spoke to technical director Chester Morgan a few hours before they left on Thursday for Jamaica. We have that for you. And I know you went to Maricoa Primary School's football competition.
It was 8 schools involved. EOC, DSEP, and the guys up there, they did a wonderful job organizing that schools competition. I would have spoken to a number of the youngsters that were there as well, and they were so enthusiastic about coming out and having fun again with their peers, competing against different schools. I also met the director for technical matters up there, Mr. Grant. He was up there supporting the event. I saw the president also for the SVGFF pass through as well.
Well, those two people may not be happy with our comments this evening when we started really going into football. Go ahead.
Well, as long as it's the truth and it's the right thing, then why should they be unhappy about constructive criticism? Eh?
Wonderful. We also will give you a little bit about St. Vincent Grenadines table tennis team. They're in Martinique. Yes, you heard it here. They are in Martinique right now. The BPL the BPL and the Champions League and the FA Cup. Listen. Let's go back to our sponsors. Let's bring all of these ads back, and when we come back,
we'll definitely come right back and dive right in.
We'll get right into these things. We are at the Bay Hill Tree Bar. We are at the Bay Hill Tree Bar, and you are locked on to edition number 2, episode number 2 of the Sports Block. We'll be right back.
Looking for a place to relax with natural cool breeze and friendly surroundings? Then check the Bay Hill Tree Bar, located at Bay Hill Cane Garden. We have everything a bar will have. We also sell Shell 20-pound cooking gas at the Bay Hill Tree Bar.
The Sports Block, SVG's newest sports commentary program on Bay Hill News Network, featuring hosts Roxell John and Warren Ollivierre. Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Informative? Check. Interactive? Check. Heated and opinionated? Check. Look out for special guests each week. Log on and speak out by calling 529-8518 to the Sports Block. Saturdays, 6 to 9 p.m. only on Bay Hill News Network.
Great news! Spectra Plus is now rolling out internet and TV services in St. Lucia and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Yes, better service and better prices from the new and improved Spectra Plus. Spectra Plus TV plans for $59.99 per month, VAT included. Adult TV 3 channels plus $29.99. For more information, call 1784-534-2551 or 1784-532-2501. Fast, reliable broadband and television services for your home or business. Spectra Plus TV, internet, better.
The Sports Block, SVG's newest sports commentary program on Bay Hill News Network, featuring hosts Roxell John and Warren Ollivierre. Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Informative? Check. Interactive? Check. Heated and opinionated? Check. Look out for special guests each week. Log on and speak out by calling 529-8518 to the Sports Block. Saturdays, 6 to 9 p.m. only on Bay Hill News Network. The Sports Block, SVG's newest sports commentary program on Bay Hill News Network, featuring hosts Roxell John and Warren Ollivierre. Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Informative? Check. Interactive? Check. Heated and opinionated? Check. Look out for special guests each week. Log on and speak out by calling 529-8518 to the Sports Block. Saturdays, 6 to 9 p.m. only on Bay Hill News Network. The Sports Block, SVG's newest sports commentary program on Bay Hill News Network, featuring hosts Roxell John and Warren Ollivierre. Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Informative? Check. Interactive? Check. Heated and opinionated? Check. Look out for special guests each week. Log on and speak out by calling 529-8518 to the Sports Block. Saturdays, 6 to 9 p.m. only on Bay Hill News Network.
Welcome back. We are here at the Bay Hill Tree Bar, and we're bringing you live here, the Sports Block edition, episode number 2. Warren, let's start with Vinci, the Vinci females, Lady Heat. All right. After a very pleasing showing here last Wednesday, one of the best victories they've had in a very long time when they defeated the BVI. 5-1. We went to Honduras and we lost to Honduras 2-1.
Yeah, and it might have been worse, thanks to our goalkeeper Ben, who put in a great performance. You would have heard how the commentator saying how great of a job she did, and she did a really good job. She made some absolutely brilliant saves. The goals were scored by Kendra Haydock and Gabriel Garcia. forward for Honduras, and Daniela Crease scored for us on the stroke of half time to bring the game back to 1-1 before Garcia scored the winner from the penalty spot. How did we get this wrong again?
Well, let's make sure we are clear, right? Because from looking at the game and the footage that I saw, one, we went back to being a little bit more defensive and not as positive-minded as we were here in St. Vincent and Grenadines. I was told, I didn't get the opportunity to look at the entire game, but the message that came out was that Honduras also squandered a large number of opportunities.
A lot.
Right? And it seems as if we went back to that style of play that we had for the very first two games that we played in Cuba.
Well, it seemed like they set up we set up to play a lone striker more or less like one setup, which was kind of strange. Seeing the game before, I mean, why would you then resort to that mid? I could see you trying to flood the midfield, yes, but it wasn't working. It was of none effect. The Hondurans practically cut us open several different times, and Ben came up really big.
Did the ladies look leg heavy, in your opinion?
Yeah.
They look like heavy, and this is where I'm going to go. This is where I said in my promo for our edition today that the FF once again got it wrong. Why? We have this group of players who have done a good job for us. We have to say that. Even though we lost to one, I am not taking or placing a lot of the blame or any blame here on the technical staff that went to the team or prepared the team, not even the girls themselves. Listen, we had these girls coming off of a magnificent 5-1 win on Wednesday.
Right.
And we have to play in Honduras the following Tuesday. Why are we leaving here? Why is this unit leaving St. Vincent and the Grenadines shores Sunday morning to travel to Honduras, get into Honduras the wee hours, and Saturday, the wee hours of Monday morning, training Monday afternoon to play an international World Cup qualifier on Tuesday? We listen, are we serious about this and putting things right and making sure that the template is excellent for the players to do what they're supposed to do, for the coaches to get what they need to get out of the players after they've put in so much hard work on the training ground?
I'm boiling this down to bad planning.
Again.
On the FFs.
Again.
Very bad planning. We got it wrong with the Gold Cup team.
Passports or visas, and again we knew for a year ahead of time, and a month and a half, a month before this game, we're scrambling to get passports.
Again, there's
and visas,
and then there's reports that 19 members went. Right, 16 players, 3 staff, and who the 3 staff? The manager, I think it was the head coach, and I think the physio or doctor.
Well, I believe there were. I was told that there were some other arrangements for some other players who traveled. Yes.
How is it? Look, we can't be getting this wrong
again,
because you're basically having to split the team again, unplanned splitting the team again to send them off. Players being unsure of who is going, who is not going. Why this is happening again? You put in doubt in the player's mind, right? All of this takes a toll physically on you, right? So it's not just you can't blame the players again for a loss like this, because it weighs heavily on their mental state as well as the physical state. Because what about the ladies that would have been unsure as to if they were going to travel? What about those who stayed behind?
So there was a last minute selection of the squad that's going as well.
It
had to be.
It had to be. If you're not sure about the 23-man squad that is supposed to be going, there had to be a last minute selection.
We cannot be subjecting our athletes to this kind of treatment in the 20th century where we are expected. You know what we ask our athletes to do? We are asking our athletes to play with the big boys, but being treated as if they don't even know how to plan. And this goes back to when if you remember when we got 9-3 in Guatemala, when 7 male players arrived the night before the game and 7 arrived the morning of the game, and eventually only 12 could have played. St. Vincent Grenadines lost 9-3. Yeah. These things, listen, every 2 weeks we are hearing the FF having a retreat. We're hearing they're having a seminar. We're hearing they're having some sort of developmental. Where are the results of this? Because we cannot be doing this over and over again and treating our players as if they are just shabby, any kind of thing. And you know when this happens a lot? This happens almost every time we're in a zone and we're playing the last game and it does not seem as if we could qualify.
No. In my opinion, they don't really care about the players. These retreats, I'm pretty sure they go and have these lovely retreats with all kind of food and this and that and the other. But what about the players?
Can't continue to work.
No, because we're going every year, time and time. And I've been a person that has openly been at them over how they do things, right? And because it can't continue to work like this. Everything is going to be consistently falling down, and then people are going to look at the coach. Oh, it's the coach, it's the coach, it's the coach, it's the coach, it's the coach. Listen, I always say, if we're not working together, the coaches could coach every day, non-stop, 365 days, and they still don't get the result they're looking for. If the executive side isn't functioning properly. Because look at it this way. The executive side failed again, right? So you're going into a World Cup qualifier, regardless of whether or not you could
you can advance. Yes.
Right? There's a starting standard that you need to
say it again. I love the word. That's starting what?
Yeah,
Standard.
There's a standard.
You represented St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
So it seems like over the years, as far as I can see, they're willing to compromise the standard. And they can't continue to work. So the coaches will coach, but if the administrative side is not on the same wavelength, it is still not going to work. These ladies going into a game 144. No, you need to be on there 3 days before, 2 days before, 3 days before, so they could get ample rest, ample sleep, eat properly. So even if they go and train, maybe it's just a walkthrough or something. But this is ridiculous.
I have a re-edited song for you now. Where is the money? Let it go. FF, let go the money where FIFA get you. Come on, let me use the money so that the players could really enjoy and give us their best. Watch. They want to play with the big boys? Act as if they play with the big boys. Yeah? You know when they act as if they play with the big boys? When the month come, the end of the month come and they get a stipend. Or when we have a game down here and you look up in the VIP, that's when they act like the big boys. But we want them to act like the big boys in terms of organizing, put the things in place so that our teams can give up their best. We ain't beating the players here. We're not beating the coaches because we know the effort was made. And in a very long time, we have seen the females actually looking the part. There has been improvement.
Let's look at something that's a recurring problem, right? Let's go back. Vinci Heat, the male team, went down to South America to play against Guatemala. I have the truth. Remember that? Okay. They got there after and 9-hour flight on a small plane. 9 hours. You're talking about from Barbados to England plus an hour, right? And got there just about 30 hours before I came. But it's less than 30 hours because they got the wee hours at the morning. It's basically less than 30 hours. Okay?
It's craziness.
So, you're going at altitude, 5,000 plus feet to play. Because people beat up the Vinci Heat male team.
Exactly.
But think about a 9-hour flight to get to a place, 30 hours, right? You don't even have a proper 24 hours
to recover.
48 hours, and we know it needs at least 48 hours to recover to be in peak condition to play a next match after long flights and so on. So you got in the 30 hours, right, to play a game at high altitude. How you expect the players to perform? It is impossible. It can't work.
These last minute arrangements have to change.
And who holds the blunt of the blame? The coaches.
But that is exactly what's going to happen, because the people on the ground don't know these things, and unless they're brought to light, they will always be blaming the coaches, always be blaming the players, right? Why? You remember I asked you a question, why did they wait until the game in St. Vincent to bring in those 4 players? Now, those 4 players, 3 of them were brought in only on the word and discussions of the TD, because 3 of those players did not want to play under the FF. You understand? And why? Why?
Well, some of these players involved in we would have heard, some players would have spoken out before against some things that would have happened, and they probably got blackballed.
Well, I don't know about the blackball. I'm not sure about the blackball, but why do we have to be in a position where players are withholding their services because of treatment from the FF?
It would be nice to know.
You have teams traveling, having breakfast at 5 and 6 in the morning, and getting to St. Vincent at 5 and 6 in the afternoon, and there is no provision for a meal after that breakfast at 5 and 6. You gotta be kidding me.
No.
Yeah. So Lady Heat, the ladies, keep faith.
We salute you.
Yeah, keep faith.
Definitely.
You've done us proud, given the circumstances under which you have to work. And don't be quiet. Talk about your issues. Let the people know what your issues are, because unless they are addressed, we are going to continue to be holding you based on your performances. So we need to know exactly what are the reasons why your performances are affected. And FF, you got to get your act together. Anything else on the female football?
I mean, I'm just really proud of the girls, regardless of how tough they would have had it through the flights, through all of the distractions and so on. And again, let's just congratulate them.
Definitely.
They put in a pretty good performance based on the problems that they would have faced. And the FF has to start to shoulder a lot of the blame for what is going on. They have to start to take responsibility. Stop hiding, and not every single comment that people make is to just pull the FF to the ground.
But these are habitual errors that have been made.
So again, it's constructive criticism. Look, come to us and tell us, okay, what caused the problem? You think they will come to us and tell us what caused the truth about what happened? What caused them to what was the blunder as to why we only had 3 staff going down there? The head coach, where's the assistant coach? The assistant coach is very important to your team.
So we salute him. Cornelius Huggins.
We salute you.
Mr. Blackett.
We salute you.
Hardest as we know you, Mr. Williams.
Definitely salute you.
The other members of the staff, Mel, physio,
Yep.
manager, as well, but Siobhan Trimingham. But the girls, the ladies, the young ladies who have done us really, really proud under these difficult circumstances. Again, we here on the Sports Block, we salute you, and St. Vincent and Grenadines salute you for all of your efforts under these conditions. FF, get your act together, because you have a big year coming up, and we need things to be running smoothly so that all our athletes under your jurisdiction can definitely perform at their best, because you have organized in a professional manner. Hopefully you have a retreat again soon, and we get some good results out of that. Warren, we're going to come back because we have another bit of football to deal with, Vinci Heat and the Nations League. Let's take a break. Let's get some word from our sponsors. Remember, you're listening to the Sports Block. You can interact with us by calling 529-8518, 529-8518, and we are being sponsored by Spectra Plus and the Bay Hill Tree Bar. Let's take a word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Great news! Spectra Plus is now rolling out internet and TV services in St. Lucia and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Yes, better service and better prices from the new and improved Spectra Plus. Spectra Plus TV plans for $59.99 per month, VAT included. Adult TV 3 channels plus $29.99. For more information, call 1784-534-2551 or 1784-532-2501. Fast, reliable broadband. Looking for a place to relax with natural cool breeze and friendly surroundings? Then check the Bay Hill Tree Bar, located at Bay Hill Cane Garden. We have everything a bar will have. We also sell Shell 20-pound cooking gas at the Bay Hill Tree Bar. Great news! Spectra Plus is now rolling out internet and TV services in St. Lucia and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Yes, better service and better prices from the new and improved Spectra Plus. Spectra Plus TV plans for $59.99 per month, VAT included. Adult TV 3 channels plus $29.99. For more information, call 1784-534-2551 or 1784-532-2501. Fast, reliable broadband and television services for your home or business. Spectra Plus TV, internet, better.
The Sports Block, SVG's newest sports commentary program on Bay Hill News Network, featuring hosts Roxell John and Warren Ollivierre. Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Informative? Check. Interactive? Check. Heated and opinionated? Check. Look out for special guests each week. Log on and speak out by calling 529-8518 to the Sports Block. Saturdays, 6 to 9 p.m. only on Bay Hill News Network. The Sports Block, SVG's newest sports commentary program on Bay Hill News Network, featuring hosts Roxell John and Warren Ollivierre. Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Informative? Check. Interactive? Check. Heated and opinionated? Check. Look out for special guests each week. Log on and speak out by calling 529-8518 to the Sports Block. Saturdays, 6 to 9 p.m. only on Bay Hill News Network. The Sports Block, SVG's newest sports commentary program on Bay Hill News Network, featuring hosts Roxell John and Warren Ollivierre. Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Informative? Check. Interactive? Check. Heated and opinionated? Check. Look out for special guests each week. Log on and speak out by calling 529-8518 to the Sports Block. Saturdays, 6 to 9 p.m. only on Bay Hill News Network.
So welcome back to the sports block. We were just dealing with the lady heat, the young ladies and the coaching staff who really represented us tremendously well, given the really difficult circumstances. And Warren, you know, we didn't even say that. Given that they are ladies, young ladies, we need to also beef up the arrangements around that team.
Treatment, especially for them, has to be at a different standard, different level. Look, why are we consistently doing things like 20 years ago? Football has advanced significantly. There's more money. So stop behaving like if we're 20 years ago. You want the players to behave like if this is 20 years ago. Come on, we gotta be better than that.
Definitely going to be better than that. And our first guest tonight would definitely agree with you in terms of the advancement of football and trying to do things for football better. Let's say good night to guest number one this evening, the head coach of Team SVG Vincy Heat, Kendall Mercury. Kendall, are you listening to us? Are you hearing us clearly?
Yeah, good night to St. Vincent and Grenadines. Yeah, I'm hearing you clearly.
Great. Welcome to the Sports Block, and thank you for agreeing to be part and parcel of our program this evening. You know, this is the newest program in terms of sports and giving the views of sports. We met with you and Rex, the physical trainer of Vincy Heat, on Monday. We saw the team in their recovery process, and we are here on Sports Block. We are wondering, are we ready at this stage? Let's say 2019, 2018 into 2019. Were we where we wanted? Were we, or are we? Are we where we supposed to be 6 weeks before the Nations League campaign?
Definitely not.
Wow. Can you give us some reasons why? Let's start there.
Well, there is always a plan, a concept, is where ways that we work. And I say we, I mean senior men staff, headed by myself. So, football, my context is constantly evolving. So, 2019 we got to the last game where we just needed to win and we lost. Now we're in 2022. So, bear in mind we had a pandemic in 2020, so we didn't have a Nation League there. A Nation League is supposed to be every year. And last year we didn't have a Nation League, but we had the World Cup qualifying. So, we have basically regressed because of non-footballing activities in St. Vincent and Grenadines. That's one of the reasons why we are not at the place we should be right now. So, for example, we haven't played a single international friendly yet. There was a system put in place, and there is a system when new players came in it, quite naturally.
Right.
But they are possibly going to be some significant changes.
Significant changes as it relates to players.
Yeah.
Okay.
Possibly. So think about it, right? You started a project in 2019. I was hired to start a project.
Correct.
There were some key performance indicators that was agreed to. The main objective was to get to Nation League A. If the FF at the time back the staff with what we thought was required to get to Nation League A. So we got some of it. So we got a tour, for example, to Belize. We got some GPS trackers which we didn't use, but the females have used them of late. Because we were when the trackers came, we were in the middle of Nation League in 2019. So I told the staff we can't just trying to learn how to use the products and all those stuff. So we got
Good afternoon, Mr. Morgan, Technical
Vision
Director of
Software,
Team Athletics SVG. As the Vincentian team,
which is
they would have
analysis
left on
to
Thursday
break
afternoon
down
for
games.
Jamaica for the Carifta Games. First question is, we have in recent times the largest contingent going to the Carifta Games. Is this a
This is since
report of
2019, yes,
progress we are seeing in St. Vincent and the Grenadines as it relates to track and field?
So this is 2022.
My name is Chester Morgan, the Technical Director of Athletics. Putting into your question, yes, track and field making an uprise or upsurge because the programs, the coaches, and also the athletes who are dedicated to work day in and day out. Also,
certain things like the lady heat and how they do things. And I was just saying to Roxell, if the administrative side does not work on the same level as the people that are coaching, how are we going to get success? And look, you're here now speaking about a very important piece to do your job, for your staff to do your job
in the modern age of football.
And
that's why I use the sentence, football is constantly evolving.
Correct. Go ahead, sir.
So we have to move with it. Myself and other coaches in Timothy, but I'm speaking for myself and the people around me. I'm a stone student of the game. I'm always studying, researching, making myself better personally and have that spilled off to the people around me. So things that we did in 2019, there's things now that needed to be done in order to get to the Gold Cup in 2023. There's an agreement again by the players that they want to go to the Gold Cup directly. They don't want to go to a playoff like we did in 2020 last year. Sorry. So we have to tap our group. That's how we get there according to the rules.
that's correct.
So we need friendlies. We are behind with that. We need to study our opponents. Hence, again, I asked them for the Instat program. So that's where you can study opponents, find all the games across the wall, track all your players by watching their games any part of the wall. So I could watch all of Carney's Stoat game, for example, in Maldives.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And some people don't really understand this. So our opponents have these tools. So when things don't go our way, people think it's just the coach. But if you don't have the resources, how are you going to get things done?
Exactly.
I can only do so much. We can only do so much from the senior men's staff point of view.
You spoke. Go ahead, sorry. Go ahead.
Let me make it clear. Rex is responsible for physical performance. That's a correction I want to make because everybody call them people like the person who are doing the physical work, physical
Trainer.
fitness coach. He's not a fitness coach.
Correct.
He's responsible for physical performance.
Right.
Okay.
So that is fitness, that is nutrition.
Yes.
You know, that is lifestyle.
Correct.
That is, if we go into camp, he has to build the menu. He has to say, coach man, this is my projection, what do you want? So for now, the agreed production we had for physical fitness in terms of testing for the beep test, for example, is 17.
Yes.
Now we have a beep test next week. I guarantee you nobody is going to make 17.
And this is a month away from Nations
So we're
League.
behind. You understand? Because the team, in my opinion, and I've said it to people in the technical department, the team came together too late. So we are now 2 months into working with the team. We started training of last year, September, after making recommendations that we want to start back in September when we return from Florida. And we were stopped. We were told by someone we have no permission to stop the training.
Well, I could understand if you are stopped now, because from my understanding, from my investigative work, I was told that none of the coaches now have a contract going in 2 weeks.
Well, correction. I am the only coach that I think is contracted.
Okay.
Everybody else was out of contract since January.
Wow. Since January, so it's not 2 weeks. It's all. Oh my word.
I think it's January.
All right.
Subject to
correction.
But from my information, I was told January was when most of the coaches' contract would have been up.
But these coaches have been working even through this period.
Yeah, what happened is they probably had some agreement with the active team. So for the Lady Heat, for example,
right.
They did Arsenal, so they probably had some kind of agreement with that. But I know I have a contract 4 years.
Right, correct. Yeah, you're a different ball game, so to speak. Correct.
So we are behind. We have to make use of the time we have.
So coach, let's as we are behind. So we are not where we need to be in terms of fitness, and I did speak to Rex Pollard as you indicated, and that was one of the areas that we discussed, the holistic development and preparation of the individual, not just fitness. And I'm very, very happy that you brought that out, because people need to understand it's not just being able to run 120 minutes. It's about eating properly, it's about sleeping properly, it's about resting properly, it's about recovering properly, because Mondays, which is your recovery day, has a less turnout.
Yeah, because they don't understand the methodology, the concept of how this staff work, which has been led by myself. So they do, some of them came from an environment, or come from an environment where they probably don't do recovery at club. You understand? So they don't see the importance.
Wow.
I would have actually had the privilege of playing in some of the United. And what would have happened, we also at the beginning didn't understand the recovery process in the early stages, until we recognized that once we did the recovery sessions, our legs were much better going through the training week. Even, okay, so we would recover on Monday, and we could train at a higher level on Tuesday. We were training 4 days a week basically, and we had no problems training once we did our recovery. If we missed our recovery and we did nothing, I'm telling you, Tuesday, Wednesday, look, your fitness would just, and you're wondering, look, why I feel this way? We missed the recovery, but so they don't really understand. Well,
that guest that we're going to have later on this evening on Sports Education would amplify what we're talking about here, because people need to understand this. It's not just about being able to go onto the field of play. Right. It's not just about having speed. It's not just about being tall or being strong. In this day and age, sport is extremely scientific.
Science is behind the sport.
Yes.
So again, there are preventative measures that we can take.
So go ahead. Go into it a little bit. The objective is still the same. What the players start. So get to the Gold Cup directly, and that came from the experience in the playoff when we played Haiti.
Right. Correct.
There was a different vibe after that match, you know. Because the players then have recognized what I've been preaching for all the time. We can beat some of the top teams in CONCACAF, but you have to be at a level of fitness, a level of tactical discipline, a level of lifestyle discipline. And they say, Coach, man, now I understand, because even though we lose 6-1, we realize what you're saying now. It is not impossible.
But I think the public recognize that as well, eh?
It is there, but we can break the players in a short amount of time. So we can push them to upset during this short amount of time.
Yes.
So when you make a recommendation to start, you want to start coaching training last year September, people don't understand what you're trying to do. You're trying to build the athlete up to this time.
So, Coach, we had a new, let's say a relatively new selection process of the locally based players, where they went through a zonal process and they had the opportunity to display their skills. What was your view and your take of that process?
My view now is still the view that I took earlier. Internally, I spoke with the technical director and others. And the zones, I have no problem with it. If anybody remember, we had a little tour going into the communities in different parts of Simison to look for players. It's basically the same concept we were trying to drive. We told them we like to see 5-6 zones in Simison. If you go back to our interview in 2019 when we were doing a little annual trip, Crystal Huggins did the recording, you would hear me personally talk about zones. Right. So the zone is not an issue for me. It is how you execute. And each individual different, each individual different. So this is not like I'm saying my way is right and somebody else's way is right. It's just that my eye is on the prize, which the players say they want to go directly to Gold Cup, and things that I think would affect that, I'm going to have a little bit of issue and I'm going to express myself about why I see things this way.
Coach.
The zone, for example.
Go ahead, sorry.
Went too long, in my opinion, about 2.5, 3 months. I went to a few, the intensity wasn't best, the coaching could have been better, the discipline could have been better, but it is what it is.
Spoke about that last week.
So, say for example, senior men staff could have get a month and a half from the zonal time. We would have been a month and a half better. So that's,
okay.
That's how I connect it.
Okay. All right. Well, for those players, viewers and listeners who may have missed it, Coach, let's just run through the names of those that came to the senior men's training set up from the zone. So we had Darius Williams, Josh Stowe, Sylvanus James, Sachin James, Jolando John, Tristan John. In position number 2, Errol Matthias, Damian Fernandez, Augustus Adams, Kishon Johnny. Position 3, number 3, Kendall Douglas, Jamal York, Courtney Thomas, Kenyon Delplesh. We had in position number 4, Devani Williams, Mikael Williams, Javin Sutherland, Kevin Francis. Position number 5, Najima Bergen, Javier Chance, Ramesh James, Gavin Brown. Position number 6, Kinasha Joseph, Brad Richards, Colin Joseph, Sherwin Alexander, and Aden Charles. Position number 7, Nazema Burnett, Kadeem Duncan, Travis Fraser, Cleon Westfield, Stephen Pear. And we go down to position number 8, Aaron Jackson, Gibson Francis, Bishon Richards, Matthew Jackson, Kirkland Williams. Position number 9, Rondell Thomas, Trizane D'Souza, Shavel Cunningham, good to see him back, Chad Haynes, and Zeddy Millington. Position number 10, Terrace Joseph, Garrett Ledgerwood, Shavel Barker, and Terracin Joseph. And position number 11, Kevon Coffey, Orion Velox, Hosni Chandler, Java O'Dane, and Zidane Sam. Now, Coach, an area of contention from our discussion in the very first edition that we had was this selection committee. Now, there is a selection committee that has now been changed to a selection council by name, as advised by the technical director, that now has to verify that now has to overlook, that now has to deliberate on your coaching squad or your coaching group for the national team suggestion as it relates to the overseas based players that you may want to see included in this unit?
Or any player that he may want.
Any other player that you may want.
Any players,
Yes, correct, correct.
Well, we had a meeting, I think, Wednesday. Long story short, the director of football, stressed that his job is to set standards.
Right.
In terms of selection. So there must be a clear selection criteria. In these zones, they use technical, tactical, social, and physical. Me and him had one hour discussion at that. And I wanted to see a little more detail. But he had his reason why he did it that. So he's saying, okay, there's nothing. Our selection criteria this way in terms of matrix and measurement.
Right.
So there was always matrix and measurement. A lot of people never paid attention. For example, I can remember a discussion upstairs the Methodist Church Hall where we invited the Premier League teams and the national coaches with permission from the SVGFS and the technical director. I made a presentation of what we were looking for in each player in different positions and the coaching philosophy, the methodology of how we train and so on. But that was never really pushed, as in around to the general public and the stakeholders and so. So this is what Mr. Gordon wants. He wants to standardize and people must know. Each player must know what you're expected to do. How do you select?
Well, we
don't have a problem with that. We always had, as I say, our matrix difference now is, as I said to you, the program. I keep even small win. So my matrix keeps changing. My matrix is getting better and better and better and better.
So, Mr. Murphy, I have a question for you. Seeing that the technical director wants these things and he wants to communicate it to the players, was this communicated to the coaches who are in these zones to know what they're supposed to be looking for?
No, well, as I said, they use a different matrix. They use their own matrix.
Right.
And for me now, this is where a little bit of trying to find the right one. Where a little bit of confusion may be with the players themselves, because they are big based on there is a matrix which is at a higher level.
So basically, they're looking for one thing, and you're looking for something that's totally different, basically. Well, like you say, they're looking at one level, and you're looking at it at a different level.
I'm still looking for technical, tactical, physical, mental, social stuff.
Right, but in more detail. Yeah, okay, I understand. Right.
That was presented to the players on Thursday, the detail matrix.
Right.
Well,
they were training, they were told, but
right.
They were never presented with a copy. There was a meeting where they were showed a copy. But now they have a copy to see every single details are in position. Out of position.
If you just
attack to defense, defense to attack. I know, and it is real deep.
Right.
It is measured not locally, and this is where I think a lot of people don't understand me. I use that to the players. I don't measure you when you play wrong, Victor. I don't measure you at that standard. I have to measure you at the top end of CONCACAF, the players who we need to be, and the teams we need to get to the end goal, which is directly to the Gold Cup. Right.
But you see, I'm kind of taken aback by what you said in terms of the changes, because we like to make sure that we are on top of our game in terms of the information that we are disseminated here, and we did make contact with the technical director after that meeting on Wednesday evening, and what I was told by the technical director that I was given permission to also speak about tonight is that the selection, there hasn't been a complete change. What has changed is that the terminology selection committee is now changed to selection council, and the process which was outlined in that document is now being overlooked for this Nation League campaign because of the time and all the little issues that are now occurring. So in order to ease the situation to in some instances, you and your coaching staff have been given the liberties now to present and add any player that you so desire. And I was told that there's a list of 17 that you guys may have presented.
Yeah, we presented a list of 17. 14 overseas based and 3 local.
All right.
Mr. Garden said, look, this is the process. You just explain to the 50-something players who are in training now why you need these players, and go ahead and invite the players, but they must be held to the same standard as in the matrix as everybody else, which is always done, but people they think different. I don't really need to get into that.
Okay.
The overseas players were always told, not because you're playing overseas, you don't walk into Vince's senior men team headed by myself at the head coach.
Right.
You own your spot. If you don't own it, you get set back. Let me give you an example. We had three overseas players from Canada who expressed interest playing for us. You know, I had put a policy in place where if you want to play for Vince, if you're overseas and you never played for us before, you have to find your own way to submit. Right. Join one of our senior camp most. I would prefer you come to a residential camp when we are at Brighton.
Right.
And you are a child.
Right.
If you impress upon the staff and management while you are a child, we say, okay, we will take you to be part of Vintage and we will fund your travels.
Right.
Well, a player came from Canada, he joined us in Grenada, our camp, residential camp, when we won qualified. And he didn't impress us. So he wasn't chosen.
Correct.
You understand? And rightfully so, he wasn't refunded his ticket money. Because that's the contract before he came.
Right. Understood.
So it's not like because you're playing overseas, you just walk in.
Well, on that note, Coach, I wanna just give some information that we received from the technical director of team, the technical director of St. Vincent Grenades football right now. Remember, you are locked on to the sports block, and this is edition number 2. So according to the technical director, in the future, foreign-based players must state how many games they have played during the season. They must confirm and have a certified letter from their trainer or something to that effect indicating their level of fitness, and they must have a written correspondence saying that they are interested in playing for Vinci Heat. right? And also, I was told from that conversation that generally all players in the Vinci setup must be able to function in the role or position selected for. They must be at a basic football fitness level. They must be coachable, right? And they must have the ability, which means that they must have the ability to carry out instructions and all. Well, these are some general ideas as it relates to going forward. Are these in any way different from what you may have had?
Yeah, some of it is different. As I say, individuals have different ways of doing it. So, for example, we never recommended that players have to write a letter to say they're interested in playing. He wants it officially because players have been reaching out via phone and email for years.
Right.
But a lot of players never got reply. I will give you an example. For example, Chevron McLean, as you know, played for us.
Yes.
In 2019. Chevron McLean has been trying to play for Simmons for years. But nobody never responded to Chevron McLean.
Okay.
Email, phone
right.
calls, not.
Well, that's a norm. That's a norm with this organization. We all know the problems as it relates to communication. And again, we spoke of this earlier this evening, where these are some basic managerial issues that must be changed in order for us to look and function like a professional unit.
In a matter of 2 days, I called Sherman McLean and he was shocked when he got the phone call. So, people do things different.
Okay.
It's not being controversial. But
right.
I don't think it's the player place to say how much games they play.
No, but Mr. Murphy, if I could...
But go ahead.
Let me finish this sentence, then they could ask the question or put.
Yeah, go ahead.
The job is on person who is tracking these players to find out how much game they played, how much starts they had, how much goal is scored, how much assists they have. It is your job to track the player. That is why we strongly recommend the Instat program. Yeah. So you can track the player every time. Look, a player expressed from last year they want to play for us. I went down personally, tracked down the player, and I meeting with the player, the coach, and the president of the club. This player never represented us before. Now, the player told me in front of his coach and his president that he will play for Senegal.
Right.
Okay, now the director of technical matters wants a letter now. There needs to be certain way. Well, I didn't speak to him personally. But suppose this player now look at, because this is how I see things differently. Suppose this player now saying, look, how we going on? I already guarantee Mr. Murphy I'm going to play. Why do you want a letter from me? Suppose the player feeling now his trust is being broken.
Right, correct.
And that could happen going forward, probably. But I think somebody who is good enough. That's just me. And you come in, and when you come, you're told you're coming on trial. But that is just how we do our thing. But the TD will handle these things differently. Fine. But I'm just trying to say you may find yourself in a problem with some of these university players may say, you know what, they're asking a little bit too much.
Well, I guess that's going forward, and hopefully that we don't have those issues in this very, very important Nations League campaign that's coming up. In our conversation as we close off, Coach Mercury, earlier this week you were pleased with the draw, and you do feel that we can move very, very far from this draw as we did in the 2019 campaign.
Yeah, we are pleased with the job. As I said, in part one, we said we wanted Cuba. But if we didn't get Cuba, we'll take Trinidad. So we got Trinidad. In part 2, we said we wanted to avoid, I think, Martinique and Bermuda. Not Martinique, sorry. Bermuda and what's the other team? It was a tough team in that group. I can't remember the top of my head. But we said if we got French Guyana, would have been extremely happy. But we got Nicaragua, who played there before.
Right.
And took 4 points off of them in 2019 Asian League over 2 games.
Correct.
And in part 4, we said we wanted to hold the Bahamas, and we did. So we good with we happy with that, but it's not gonna be easy. For example, the Trinidadian, the head coach Eve already said in his statement that he put out, he's one of the Trinidad and Tobago public and football fans don't think this is an easy walkover. And he had cite examples of history.
Correct.
Remember, Bahamas knocked us out of the World Cup qualifiers last year. Remember, I think he's back in 2009, probably earlier than 2009. I think no, not earlier, later than 2009. St. Vincent had Trinidad 2-0 in St. Vincent.
Yep.
In a World Cup qualifier where they came back and went 3-2.
Correct.
He used himself as an example where, as a national player, he had to come over the bench along with somebody else and won a game in Trinidad versus St. Vincent, where St. Vincent was leading. So it's not going to be easy, but we are a little bit more comfortable because we're not going to Guatemala in high altitude. We didn't pick Haiti. Mentally, probably could have, and psychologically could have put the players head after a 6-1 loss. So we're in a good place with the job. We have to get it together with the prep and securing the these players early, moving them here as early as possible as always to join us with training.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of different strategies now I'm introducing the team too. In 2019 we could not have done this in-depth prep because it was the first time we were working together and I had to drip feed the information.
Understood.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Coach Mokri, just about we make it just about 5.5 weeks remaining before June 3rd, when you have that first matchup against against the Bahamas in the Bahamas, and then we come back here to St. Vincent where we meet Nicaragua and Trinidad, and then the first window is closed when we go for that return game in Trinidad against Trinidad. Although we have some constraints, as we normally hear a number of our leading officials in St. Vincent say, we are a resilient people, and I know that you do not back down at challenges, and so we want to make sure that we from the sports block also give you our best wishes as you go into this sojourn. We will definitely be back in touch with you a little closer to match 1 on June 3rd, but again, we hope that things work out for you and the unit, and from here onwards things may just be falling in place as they should.
Yeah, just to finish and say, I'm a firm believer in faith. Warren is there and he knows I always say in my belief nothing happened before that. 2019 wasn't the time for us to go to the World Cup. If it's the will of a higher power that we go this time, we will. And I strongly feel so. Even though we're behind, there are certain things I'm seeing that I think stars are probably aligning. The draw is one, and the fixture is the next one. If you look at the fixture, we go away to the Bahamas. We come back home to Nicaragua. We play Trinidad at home, so we get 2 games at home. Then we don't have to travel far. We go right there to Trinidad. Then we have Nicaragua next year match, 2023 match, and Bahamas last. That's the best fixture I've ever seen. In terms of, for me personally. So, I have a feeling, good feeling. I also have a motto, although I say we are behind, I also have a motto, always find a way.
True. All right, well, thank you again, Coach Mokri, Kendall Mokri, the head coach of Vinci, the male senior team. Warren, I know you are really very good in contact with him in terms of working together, and so you will obviously continue to progress in terms of your pushing of these ideas of getting things done and trying to get things sorted so that they themselves, the coaching staff, could get their work done as efficiently and as quickly as possible.
I have no doubt the players believe that they can get there based on the last sojourn when like Mr. Murphy would have spoken about that. I've had a few conversations with the players that played in that game against Haiti, and they reiterated to me that, look, if everybody was there, there's no way Haiti was going to beat us. And they strongly believe, because what they were saying is we felt really, really good. We were at a really, really good place. The training had just started to come together. Everything just felt right. And again, let's also hope that Mr. Murphy, the FF, would put things right, get their act together, make sure, check, double check, recheck. So it makes your job a little bit easier to manage. We can't have another slip up, another repeat of the World Cup playoff.
Yes.
So I hope they work with you, Mr. Murphy, the technical director. I know he's doing some work, and let's just hope everything goes smoothly and we can meet the ultimate goal. I wish you all the best. I wish the team all the best going forward, and we'll continue to talk, and we'll show up to some of the training sessions and see and have some more conversations there.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you to the coach for having me, and
Yes, man. Thank you again, and you have a wonderful evening. That was Coach Kendall Mokri, our head coach here in St. Vincent and Grenadines, as it relates to the senior men's football team. Warren, we have a lot more things to do. We're not going to go into those extra 17 players tonight. Let's hold that for another week or so. Let's tease our listeners and our viewers a bit. But from what Coach said, it seems as if there's a possibility that we may be having some players who never represented St. Vincent and the Grenadines, representing St. Vincent and the Grenadines. This is good news to me, and hopefully next week, in the coming weeks, we can have some ideas of who these people are.
Yeah, it would be good to find out who they are. The public would be enthusiastic to see some of these players. I for one, would be very. I'm not interested in seeing who the new players are. I know the other players. I guess once they've been told about these new players, we'll probably be sitting and thinking, hey, there are people coming in from outside now, and I wonder what standard they are.
Right.
Maybe I need to raise my level, my game a little bit. So maybe the training sessions will now be even more intense.
Correct.
This is what we need to go forward to get to where Mr. Bumley actually said we want to get to the Gold Cup. The players want to get to the Gold Cup and so on. So, it's basically twofold, because you want to always go up a level. So we're in Nation League B right now. You want to go to the Nation League A. We know to the Nation League A will be playing against the best of the best. Right? This is where we can definitely start to measure where we are in CONCACAF. Because look, our public measuring the players locally, and I would have met with Mr. Mokri and asked him the players that were selected, are they selected based on looking at so are they being measured against the teams like the US, Canada? Are measuring them based on playing against Becky United?
The Sports Block.
We have to see things a little bit different. So our training sessions, the guys, hopefully some of them are listening and they need to understand that they're not going to be competing against local players.
Correct.
They have to be trained. They have to take the training seriously and take it to a different level, mentally and physically. Because to get to the Gold Cup, it's not going to be easy and nobody's going to give it to you for free. And again, most of the international competitions are usually decided by one goal.
Yes.
Unless there's a large disparity between the teams, right? Where the US might score 4 or 5 or 6 if there's this large disparity. But once the teams are on a particular level together, most games are decided by one goal.
Correct.
So we as a nation also, we have a responsibility. If we know some of these guys are training for the national team, and let's not just use football, sport in general.
Yes.
Once we know these people are trying to represent, are selected to represent our country, even the local teams, if we know they are supposed to go to training, they come and they sit and they block. Run them to go to training. Look, you're supposed to be in training today. Send them to go to training. The avenues and the opportunities are open for players.
Enormous.
Well, for athletes, not just players, for any athlete.
Enormous right
to,
now.
To get something out of sport.
Sure.
Make a difference in their life, their parents, their community, and St. Vincent on a whole. The opportunities are way enough now.
Well, yes, you're hearing it here. You're listening to it here. You're viewing it here on what? The Sports Block. Yes, the Sports Block. 529-8518, 529-8518. That's the number you can call to be interactive. I know you're listening. I know you're viewing. I know you're taking in all the information because a lot of the information you have not heard before, we're bringing it to you. Brand new information, straight from the sources, clean and in some instances, the information that hasn't even been out there on the public yet. Yeah,
we're here from when? Every Saturday?
We are here from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Saturdays. We are going to step up a notch. I know our next guests have been waiting. They're probably 7 minutes away from when they were supposed to be on. But we're going to step up a notch. We're going to go international when we come back on the Sports Block. When we come back, we're going to go into the America's Netball Men's Championship. The America's Netball Men's Championship. Remember, you are locked on to the Sports Block 529-8518. That's the number to call to be interactive. And we are sponsored tonight by Spectra Plus and Bay Hill Tree Bar, Roxell John and
Ollivierre.
We are your hosts. We will be. We are gonna be. Just we coming back in a very short space of time.
The Sports Block. SVG's newest sports commentary program on Bay Hill News Network, featuring hosts Roxell John and Warren Ollivierre. Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Informative? Check. Interactive? Check. Heated and opinionated? Check. Look out for special guests each week. Log on and speak out by calling 529-8518 to the Sports Block. Saturdays, 6 to 9 p.m. only on Bay Hill News Network. The Sports Block. SVG's newest sports commentary program on Bay Hill News Network.
Looking for a place to relax with natural cool breeze and friendly surroundings? Then check the Bay Hill Tree Bar.
Featuring host Roxell John.
We have everything a bar will have. We also sell Shell 20 pounds cooking gas at the Bay Hill Tree Bar. Great news! Spectra Plus is now rolling out internet and TV services in St. Lucia and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Yes, better service and better prices from the new and improved Spectra Plus. Spectra Plus TV plans for $59.99 per month, VAT included. Adult TV 3 channels plus $29.99. For more information, call 1784-534-2551 or 1784-532-2501. Fast, reliable broadband and television services for your home or business. Spectra Plus TV, internet, better.
The Sports Block. SVG's newest sports commentary program on Bay Hill News Network. Featuring hosts Roxell John and Warren Ollivierre. Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Informative? Check. Interactive? Check. Heated and opinionated? Check. Look out for special guests each week. Log on and speak out by calling 529-8518 to the Sports Block. Saturdays, 6 to 9 p.m. only on Bay Hill News Network. The Sports Block. SVG's newest sports commentary program on Bay Hill News Network. Featuring hosts Roxell John and Warren Ollivierre. Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Informative? Check. Interactive? Check. Heated and opinionated? Check. Look out for special guests each week. Log on and speak out by calling 529-8518 to the Sports Block. Saturdays, 6 to 9 p.m. only on Bay Hill News Network. The Sports Block. SVG's newest sports commentary program on Bay Hill News Network. Featuring hosts Roxell John and Warren Ollivierre. Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Informative? Check. Interactive? Check. Heated and opinionated? Check. Look out for special guests each week. Log on and speak out by calling 529-8518 to the Sports Block. Saturdays, 6 to 9 p.m. only on Bay Hill News Network.
Hello.
The Sports Block. SVG's newest sports commentary program on Bay Hill News Network. Featuring hosts Roxell John and Warren Ollivierre. Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Informative? Check. Interactive? Check. Heated and opinionated? Check. Look out for special guests each week. Log on and speak out by calling 529-8518 to the Sports Block. Saturdays, 6 to 9 p.m. only on Bay Hill News Network. The Sports Block. SVG's newest sports program on Bay Hill News Network. Featuring hosts Roxell John and Warren Ollivierre. Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Informative? Check. Interactive? Check. Heated and opinionated? Check. Look out for special guests each week. Log on and speak out by calling 529-8518 to the Sports Block. Saturdays, 6 to 9 p.m. only on Bay Hill News Network. The Sports Block. SVG's newest sports commentary program on Bay Hill News Network. Featuring hosts Roxell John and Warren Ollivierre. Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Informative? Check. Interactive? Check. Heated and opinionated? Check. Look out for special guests each week. Log on and speak out by calling 529-8518 to the Sports Block. Saturdays, 6 to 9 p.m. only on Bay Hill News Network. The Sports Block. SVG's newest sports commentary program on Bay Hill News Network. Featuring hosts Roxell John and Warren Ollivierre. Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Informative? Check. Interactive? Check. Heated and opinionated? Check. Look out for special guests each week. Log on and speak out by calling 529-8518 to the Sports Block. Saturdays, 6 to 9 p.m. only on Bay Hill News Network. The Sports Block. SVG's newest sports commentary program on Bay Hill News Network, featuring hosts Roxell John and Warren Ollivierre. Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Informative? Check. Interactive? Check. Heated and opinionated? Check. Look out for special guests each week. Log on and speak out by calling 529-8518 to the Sports Block. Saturdays, 6 to 9 p.m. only on Bay Hill News Network. The Sports Block. SVG's newest sports commentary program on Bay Hill News Network, featuring hosts Roxell John and Warren Ollivierre. Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Informative? Check. Interactive? Check. Heated and opinionated? Check. Look out for special guests each week. Log on and speak out by calling 529-8518 to the Sports Block. Saturdays, 6 to 9 p.m. only on Bay Hill News Network. The Sports Block. SVG's newest sports commentary program on Bay Hill News Network, featuring hosts Roxell John and Warren Ollivierre. Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Informative? Check. Interactive? Check. Heated and opinionated? Check. Look out for special guests each week. Log on and speak out by calling 529-8518 to the Sports Block. Saturdays, 6 to 9 p.m. only on Bay Hill News Network. The Sports Block. SVG's newest sports commentary program on Bay Hill News Network, featuring hosts Roxell John and Warren Ollivierre. Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Informative? Check. Interactive? Check. Heated and opinionated? Check. Look out for special guests each week. Log on and speak out by calling 529-8518 to the Sports Block. Saturdays, 6 to 9 p.m. only on Bay Hill News Network. The Sports Block. SVG's newest sports commentary program on Bay Hill News Network, featuring hosts Roxell John and Warren Ollivierre. Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Informative? Check. Interactive? Check. Heated and opinionated? Check. Look out for special guests each week. Log on and speak out by calling 529-8518 to the Sports Block. Saturdays, 6 to 9 p.m. only on Bay Hill News Network. The Sports Block. SVG's newest sports commentary program on Bay Hill News Network, featuring hosts Roxell John and Warren Ollivierre. Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Informative? Check. Interactive? Check. Heated and opinionated? Check. Look out for special guests each week. Log on and speak out by calling 529-8518 to the Sports Block. Saturdays, 6 to 9 p.m. only on Bay Hill News Network.
Yes, welcome back to the Sports Block. This is episode number 2, and Warren, a really hectic and controversial start to our second edition. But guess what? It's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun.
Very informative as well.
Yes, and this is what we're about. Definitely.
Public would have gotten some new information as well. We should keep it going, eh?
Well, that's what we want to do, and as we indicated, we are going to go another step in terms of the individuals that we have on our show. We are about to go into the inaugural America's Netball Men's Championship, and that is to be held in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Oh my word. Let us say good night to our guests who are all about this competition, who will tell us all about this competition. We have on the line, we have Miss Natasha Batiste, I was told, to correct the surname. She is the coach of the SVG Males national team, and she is also spearheading the initial championship. Good night, Miss Batiste.
Good night to you. Good night.
Right, and we also have online Mr. Matneil Duncan, the chairman of the SVG male netball team, and Mr. Javon Edwards, the second vice president of America's Netball. Mr. Duncan, Mr. Edwards, welcome to the Sports Block. Okay,
good evening, guys, and thanks for having us.
Let's begin, and I'm gonna leave the floor open as we ask these questions, because we want to know where did this idea of the America's Netball Men's Championship, where did it originate? Anyone could start, and let's get into some information sharing here tonight.
All right, so I will begin the ball rolling.
The idea for the championship came from St. Vincent and the Grenadines Male Netball Association. They approached the America. I was first approached by Natasha with discussion about AFNA partnering with St. Vincent Male Netball Association to create the America's Championship, and I asked them to write to the AFNA executive. We met as an executive and we discussed partnering with St. Vincent and his Grenadines Male Netball Association. And there comes the birth of the America's Male Netball Championship. We, as an executive, vote in favor to adopt the championship and to partner with St. Vincent and again his Netball Association. And we are very, very thrilled and are delighted that we were able to partner with St. Vincent and Grenadines. And this is a huge milestone for netball, male netball, but not just in the region, but throughout the world as well. Because this is the first regional body out of the five regional body that governs netball in the Americas, in the world, to have host a male championship and are using the name of the regional body, which is the Americas, as the title for the championship. So for us, this signifies that we are now looked at as the first, some people would say the trendsetters, so now we have established that we can, as a regional body, we can open
we are always in the forefront
for the champion, for male championship.
So I guess that's one of the reasons, Mr. Edwards.
Yeah. Can you repeat the question?
Why St. Vincent? Why are you choosing St. Vincent to start your netball for men's in the Americas? I'm not sure if you've been to St. Vincent, but I guess that's probably one of the reasons. If you've been to St. Vincent, the beauty and the nature of the place, probably one of the reasons why you have chosen St. Vincent.
I have been to St. Vincent personally, and Beckway is my favorite island, and one day I will own it. But the reason why St. Vincent has given this opportunity to host the first ever male championship was because St. Vincent was due to host the male championship in the regions that they normally play between countries in the Americas. And as they approach AFNA to make the tournament bigger and more official and to attract more team and better structure. So St. Vincent was chosen by other countries prior to AFNA involvement. So I'm not going to say AFNA chose St. Vincent. St. Vincent was due to host before AFNA came on board, but AFNA now came on board and now It's now an AFNA championship. Before, it would have just been a male championship in the Caribbean region. But now it's open out to the wider Caribbean region. It's to the wider Americas and not just to the Caribbean. Before, I think the championship used to play between St. Lucia, Grenada, St. Vincent and Trinidad. But now we have Argentina, we have the Dominican Republic who are interested in taking part in this, and so is Venezuela. So it's now bigger, wider, and because of the milestone and what we have achieved as a region with, in collaboration with St. Vincent and Grenadines Netball Association, we have South Africa who are now interested in coming to take part in the championship. So it is a big championship, and it is big, and to be fair to St. Vincent have known over the years to be a very good host for netball throughout the Americas. St. Vincent has always been one of the top hosts, especially when Ms. Valentine was in charge.
Yes.
So it's not just now St. Vincent are hosting championships. St. Vincent are known to host this level of competition, and AFNA is grateful that St. Vincent is hosting it, and it's a place where a lot of AFNA as a region have a lot of good memories. So I am happy that it's St. Vincent, because Becco is my favorite island, and I will get the opportunity to visit during the championship. So, but we are grateful that St. Vincent took their hands up to host the championship, and St. Vincent took it and ran with it, and I must say a huge thank you to Natasha and Duncan and their team for the level of work they put in to ensure this championship and the communication. And as an executive, we are very impressed with what they've shown us so far, and we just hope that this will get better and continue to grow.
Yes, well, wonderful news. I was about to tell you, if you have not been to St. Vincent, well, half your life gone. That's what I would say, St. Vincent here. So I guess you're in the safe zone here. Nothing to encourage all and sundry who are connected and are interested in this tournament to come to St. Vincent, because this is the place to be when it comes to sports organization. We're talking about, sorry? Yes, that's what he said. Yes. Right. My co-host Warren Ollivierre, he is from Beckway, he's a Beckway man, and he's really happy to hear from you. America's Netball Men's Championship, that's what we're talking about here on the Sports Block. This is scheduled for the 31st August to the 5th of September here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And on the Sports Block, we have a Miss Natasha Batiste. We also have Mr. Javon Edwards, the second VP of Americas. And let's go to Mr. Duncan. Mr. Duncan, Team Warriors, St. Vincent and Grenadines male team. We prepare for this tournament. What is happening in terms of preparing the gentlemen to make sure that the championship honors stay in St. Vincent for the first time?
Hello, good night everyone. Thanks for having me. We have been training currently 3 days a week, Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays. Tuesdays and Thursdays we're training out at the Hammondsville Sporting Complex. And on Saturdays we are training out at the Nutrition, which is Kingston Netball Center. We are training under the tutelage of Natasha Batiste as the coach, and we have been training for the past 3 years or more, because we were slated to host the regional tournament in 2019. However, 2019 and 2020, due to COVID, we had to postpone, and we in 2022. And we, as Javon would have stated earlier, approached the Americas Netball to make this tournament official. Originally, the first tournament was held in Trinidad, which was the regional tournament, where it was St. Vincent, Trinidad, the Defense Force, the Trinidad Defense Force, and Grenada. In that tournament, we were beaten in the finals by Trinidad, and then it was hosted by Grenada, but we did not finish that tournament because of the weather at that time. So St. Vincent was slated to host the tournament in in 2019 or 20. And as I said, due to COVID, we had a setback, and as such, 2020 is now the time. So we have been in training from since then. Yes, we had to stop because of protocols due to COVID, but we have been going back and forth, and now we are out training. Unfortunately, I'm not in the country at this time, but my guys have been going through the rigors, and we have to thank Natasha for that. And we also had other coaches helping out from this young lady, Anela from England, have been helping us training as well in giving us some tactics as what to use. So we have been putting in the work, and we are hoping that at the end of this we should be victorious. And our first step is making the finals, and then we're hoping that we will be victorious at the end of it all.
Okay, I know that Natasha has a number of hats here, so we're going to ask you another question, Mr. Duncan. Can you give us an idea of the male representatives here on the St. Vincent team in terms of names, so that we can start familiarizing ourselves with these players who will be representing St. Vincent and the Grenadines?
All right.
Okay, so some of my players we have
still going through the
Mike Gaines, Akil Matthews,
to name the final team
Akil B,
around the end of May.
Dorian Lee.
So I would want
I think Duncan,
myself. We also
no problem.
Yes, Mike Duncan, myself. We also have Sean Fredericks, Zimran, and coach will have to hear me out here because I'm talking off the top of my head. Zimran.
She's probably not hearing you clearly, so I'll just let her clarify when you finish, Mr. Duncan.
Okay. Yeah, because my reception is not the best, so some apologies for that. So I will, if you don't mind, I will let Natasha jump in here and help me with some of the names, if you don't mind.
Not a problem. So Natasha, you go ahead, because Mr. Duncan was giving some names, but obviously he would like you to complete that procedure.
Okay. Well, I didn't hear him what the name that he called, but I was stating that the final team will be selected around the end of May.
Mm-hmm.
So I would not want to release names at this point. Naturally, we have a core of persons who have been coming, and we can safely say that based on their attendance and their commitment to training, that they will be on the squad. But I don't want to preempt the selection process and call any names at this time.
Okay, Warren?
So, Miss Natasha.
Yes?
How has it been received for you? What are some of the feedback
Well,
you have been given?
naturally, there have been mixed feelings that is related to this version of the sport.
Right.
In terms of the championship and the publicity, there is a local organizing committee that is in place that is responsible for that aspect of promotion and all of that. So they will have their timelines when they will do their press release and so forth. But we have had some young new players who have become part of the training squad and have shown great commitment. We anticipate that even after this championship, that the interest in this version of the sport will increase, and we are hoping that it can get to the point where even locally, we can have a local male championship here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Interesting. And that's where I will go with you, second VP Javon. Tell us a little bit about the Americas setup with netball and how big is male netball on a global scale from your experience?
Sorry, can you rephrase the question?
Okay, tell us a little bit more about the Americas and the setup as it relates to what it does for netball, if it's not only male and the female. Let's get an idea of what the Americas does and how it's set up, how it's organized, it's running netball, male and female.
Well, this is the first time AFNA will be officially partnering or officially titling any championship in the region to do with male. This is our first time, but male netball is being played throughout the region. A lot of the Spanish-speaking countries who are some of the newest members in the Americas region, and they all played netball, but netball been played in Trinidad, Jamaica, St. Vincent and Grenada and other islands for many, many years, and Barbados. Over the years, male has been the ones that national teams play their practice matches against, but we are now here, that we are now hosting male championship, which is good, and I think it was high time that the male get some highlight, because males have been involved in netball for many years in coaching and umpiring and in other areas of officiating, but never got the opportunity outside of officiating. Unlike some countries like Australia and stuff, where male netball are free internationally, New Zealand recently, for the first time in their history, has male and Sky TV. Right. A male game match was broadcast throughout New Zealand and Australia and around the world on the streaming platform. And that was the first time in New Zealand. But New Zealand, where two male teams play, but New Zealand has also broadcast around the world where the male team play against the female team. So we are here now in the Americas region, and we are now doing this, and it's better late than never. So we are here. We are the first region to be hosting a male championship, and we know that other regions will follow suit, and other regions will be hosting male championship. And hopefully soon we will have a male international tournament that are recognized by the world body, World Netball scene. We have to remember that netball has always been a female-dominated sport and are a female-dominated sport. And as male coming into the female space, we have to tread carefully. And as a regional body, we have to also keep the focus as a female-centered sport. But we want it to be open to men and boys. And which we are now, it is now open to men and boys. And I know World Netball is now putting a bigger emphasis, and there's a group that have been formed that Duncan and myself serve on, a committee to look at how male netball can be better throughout the world of ball than men participation. So male netball is getting some attention, but we got to be patient and not try to be too forward in our approaching it, but we got to be subtle, and we just got to, wait and for the right opportunities. And now we are here in the Americas, where we are now having the male championship.
Interesting, very, very good information coming through there, and we do agree that this is a new step for male netball. There would be challenges, and Natasha did speak of the perception. In countries like ours, there's still that perception that this is not a sport should be played by males. It should be a female-dominated sport. And as we and as the evolution as it relates to sports and how it's played, how it's done, the scientific views, and in this case now the equality in terms of what is being allowed, male and female, male netball in St. Vincent Grenadines and in Americas would definitely grow.
If there's anybody who has interest in a particular sport, if there's enough people to make it happen, male or female, whether it be basketball, cricket,
Sports for all.
You have to jump, stop, and when you passes and
right.
so on. We used it as part of our coordination as well. So there's nothing wrong with men playing netball as the perception would be.
Mm-hmm.
That is something wrong that these guys are playing. No, absolutely not. And if they want to, I support them 100% if they want to.
Right, and with that support, yes, with that support we go on. Mr. Duncan, what's the plans going forward as it relates to probably a drive to encourage a larger number of males to play the sport here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines?
So, as Javon stated, we are on a group where we are looking as to see what is required, and as he stated, we rightfully stated that we have to tread carefully because we are talking about inclusivity here with males. He rightfully stated that in St. Vincent, I can attest that the last championship that St. Vincent won, females, the males were the ones who give them the practice games, pushing them, and our intentions are to help them to grow, to jump higher and stuff like that. So we push them to do that. So our drive is originally a couple years. What we have done, we went out into communities, we would have went to Ollivierre, and we have done outreach programs, and that is one of the things that we're going to be doing again. The outreach programs we had games in Georgetown a couple of years back as well, and that is our intention. It's not just about playing the game or playing the sport, it's also about going out in the communities, communities, and seeing where we can help. We did, as I said, we did outreach programs where we did HIV testing in Ollivierre, and those are things that we want to do. We do need the help of the public, and we do need the support realize that netball not only for male, but again, it's a female dominant sport, that St. Vincent was a region to be reckoned with within the Caribbean. And right now, we need to get back out there and show the Caribbean that we still can play the game and start from the grassroots, and that's what we need to do. And if we can do it, we have to do it, because we were once told to market our sport, and so we are trying to do that, and with the help of my teammates and my executive, as well as Natasha, we are trying to do that, and we're trying to remove the stigma that is attached to male playing a dominant female sport, that it is just a sport and we are just playing it, having fun, and at the same time, as I said, it's inclusivity and the change of name from International Netball Federation to now World Netball or America's Netball, is so that the sport is inclusive of male and female. And well, as I said, a female dominant sport inclusive of male, where we can teach the sports to young boys and boys growing up in school, so that we eventually will have a world tournament or also participate in the Olympics. I think they're hopefully looking for males actually to participate in the Olympics in probably 2030, and that is what we are hoping to happen. So, as I said in St. Vincent, our goal is to not make it marginalized, where we only have females but also have males going out into the communities, teaching the sport, who's interested, male and female, teaching both males and females, as well as doing outreach drive, HIV testing and stuff like that. So again, we're going to need the help from the public, and so that again we can remove that stigma and just see it as a sport that anyone can participate and play.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And we are talking about St. Vincent and the Grenadines hosting the inaugural Men's Netball Championship, and that should be held here between the 31st of August and the 5th of September 2022. And I remember the last time we hosted a championship in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, it was just tremendous. We had a huge crowd. I might have to put a plug here now for the sports block and for the Bay Hill News Network to do some sort of commentary and some sort of coverage of this tournament, because there was one of the hosts tonight was one of those persons who were doing commentary, and it was really a tremendous tournament, and we expect the same here from August 5th. No. Let's go again. August 31st to September 5th, 2022, the inaugural Men's Netball Championship. Let's finish off, Miss Stapleton. I know you don't, Miss Matisse Stapleton I had here. I know you don't want to give away too much just yet, but what can the patrons, the netball-loving public of St. Vincent and Grenadines look forward to during this week of activities here in St. Vincent?
Well, nothing but excitement. And for those persons who know how the current set of male players play, it is always exciting. And with us having persons coming from St. Kitts and Nevis, Antigua and Barbuda, Jamaica, and as Javon mentioned, South Africa has indicated that they would like to participate as a guest country in our championship. We know that it's going to be exciting. We are hoping that patrons come out in their numbers. It's a new element, and what I would encourage persons to do is to look at male netball in the other regions. There is also male netball games on YouTube from Jamaica, even some here from St. Vincent when we played against Grenada and Trinidad and those countries. They are on YouTube. So I'm encouraging persons to look at those games and see the excitement, the skill, because the level of skill that is displayed by the males, it is awesome. So, that is what we that is what we know that patrons are gonna experience. They're gonna experience netball with a difference.
Okay.
Expertise, I have no doubt that the sport will get support. I know a lot of netball lovers, the ladies, they always enjoy when the guys come around and join them to play. Like I said before, growing up, I used to play along with the ladies as well, as part of me, my orientation for basketball and so on, using it for practice and balance and so on. And I have no doubt that you would get support, and I'm encouraging the public to don't look at netball as a women's sport. Look at it as a sport, not in any segregative way. It's just another sport where men decide, look, we like the sport, we want to play, and there should be no restriction to anyone who wants to participate in a particular sport. And I wish you all nothing but the best, and I'm pretty sure we will be there as well. The Lord give us some health and strength. We will definitely be there to support you and to see what's going on there as well.
Right, so
I just wanna
go ahead.
I just wanna add here that even from the standpoint of the National Olympic Committee, gender equity in sport is one of the things that they are pushing. So it's not just in netball that the agenda of gender equity is being pushed. It is being pushed throughout all sports.
Right.
So this thrust and this vision of America's netball to get in line with the mandate of World Netball to make netball an all-inclusive sport.
Right.
It's a great opportunity for us, for St. Vincent, for sports tourism, because I know once persons come and they experience the beauty of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, they will come back for vacation and other opportunities here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So sports tourism is what we are pushing as well as we hold this championship.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, we want to say thank you so much for joining us. We will be in touch again within the months coming, because we definitely want to follow up on what progress we've been having. So thank you very much, Second VP, Mr. Edwards. Thank you very much, Duncan.
Thank you for having me.
Of the male team here in St. Vincent Grenadines, and Natasha, with 3 or 4 different caps. I know your hands will be very filled during the next few months. We want to thank you very much for being part and parcel of our program this evening, and we will definitely follow up on what's happening with this inaugural men's netball championship to be held right here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the 31st of August to the 5th of September 2022. Listen, get your acts together and get ready for some excitement, according to Natasha. Lady and gentlemen, we want to thank you for being part of our program this evening.
You are most welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Great. So, Warren, wow. It's been a long evening already, and we still haven't even touched the iceberg yet. A few things. We still have sports education to speak about, and Carifta happening in Jamaica. But let's take a break. Let's go to our sponsors. Let's take a break. You are locked on to the sports block right here on Bay Hill News Network, and we are sponsored by the Bay Hill Tree Bar and Splectra Plus. Remember, you can interact with us. I know we are giving you a lot of information. I know you are getting a lot of food for thought this evening, but you can interact with us by calling 529-8518. We'll be right back. Oh, they're saying the
Sports Block. SVG's newest sports commentary program on Bay Hill News Network, featuring hosts Roxell John and Warren Ollivierre. Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Informative? Check. Interactive? Check. Heated and opinionated? Check. Look out for special guests each week. Log on and speak out by calling 529-8518 to the Sports Block. Saturdays, 6 to 9 p.m. only on Bay Hill News Network. The Sports Block. SVG's newest sports commentary program on Bay Hill News Network, featuring hosts Roxell John and Warren Ollivierre. Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Informative? Check. Interactive? Check. Heated and opinionated? Check. Look out for special guests each week. Log on and speak out by calling 529-8518 to the Sports Block. Saturdays, 6 to 9 p.m. only on Bay Hill News Network. The Sports Block. SVG's newest sports commentary program on Bay Hill News Network, featuring hosts Roxell John and Warren Ollivierre. Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Informative? Check. Interactive? Check. Heated and opinionated? Check. Look out for special guests each week. Log on and speak out by calling 529-8518 to the Sports Block.
Jody.
Saturdays, 6 to 9 p.m. only.
All right, just hold there. I'll call you in a few. Well, we'll go live in a few.
There's an echo. You want to try call back and turn a different device?
Okay, all right, I will.
Roxell John and Warren Ollivierre. Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Informative? Check. Interactive? Check. Heated and opinionated? Check. Look out for special guests each week. Log on and speak out by calling 529-8518 to the Sports Block. Saturdays, 6 to 9 p.m. only on Bay Hill News Network. The Sports Block. SVG's newest sports commentary program on Bay Hill News Network, featuring hosts Roxell John and Warren Ollivierre. Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Informative? Check. Interactive? Check. Heated and opinionated? Check. Look out for special guests each week. Log on and speak out by calling 529-8518 to the Sports Block. Saturdays, 6 to 9 p.m. only on Bay Hill News Network. The Sports Block. SVG's newest sports commentary program on Bay Hill News Network, featuring hosts Roxell John and Warren Ollivierre. Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Informative? Check. Interactive? Check. Heated and opinionated? Check. Look out for special guests each week. Log on and speak out by calling 529-8518 to the Sports Block. Saturdays, 6 to 9 p.m. only on Bay Hill News Network. The Sports Block. SVG's newest sports commentary program on Bay Hill News Network, featuring hosts Roxell John and Warren Ollivierre. Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Informative? Check. Interactive? Check. Heated and opinionated? Check. Look out for special guests each week. Log on and speak out by calling 529-8518 to the Sports Block. Saturdays, 6 to 9 p.m. only on Bay Hill News Network. The Sports Block. SVG's newest sports commentary program on Bay Hill News Network, featuring hosts Roxell John and Warren Ollivierre. Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Informative? Check. Interactive? Check. Heated and opinionated? Check. Look out for special guests each week. Log on and speak out by calling 529-8518 to the Sports Block. Saturdays, 6 to 9 p.m. only on Bay Hill News Network. The Sports Block. SVG's newest sports commentary program on Bay Hill News Network, featuring hosts Roxell John and Warren Ollivierre. Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Informative? Check. Interactive? Check. Heated and opinionated? Check. Look out for special guests each week. Log on and speak out by calling 529-8518 to the Sports Block. Saturdays, 6 to 9 p.m. only on Bay Hill News Network. The Sports Block. SVG's newest sports commentary program on Bay Hill News Network, featuring hosts Roxell John and Warren Ollivierre. Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Informative? Check. Interactive? Check. Heated and opinionated? Check. Look out for special guests each week. Log on and speak out by calling 529-8518 to the Sports Block. Saturdays, 6 to 9 p.m. only on Bay Hill News Network. The Sports Block. SVG's newest sports commentary program on Bay Hill News Network, featuring hosts Roxell John and Warren Ollivierre. Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Informative? Check. Interactive? Check. Heated and opinionated? Check. Look out for special guests each week. Log on and speak out by calling 529-8518 to the Sports Block. Saturdays, 6 to 9 p.m. only on Bay Hill News Network. The Sports Block. SVG's newest sports commentary program on Bay Hill News Network, featuring hosts Roxell John and Warren Ollivierre. Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Informative? Check. Interactive? Check. Heated and opinionated? Check. Look out for special guests each week. Log on and speak out by calling 529-8518 to the Sports Block. Saturdays, 6 to 9 p.m. only on Bay Hill News Network. The Sports Block. SVG's newest sports commentary program on Bay Hill News Network, featuring hosts Roxell John and Warren Ollivierre. Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Informative? Check. Interactive? Check. Heated and opinionated? Check. Look out for special guests each week. Log on and speak out by calling 529-8518 to the Sports Block. Saturdays, 6 to 9 p.m. only on Bay Hill News Network. The Sports Block. SVG's newest sports commentary program on Bay Hill News Network, featuring hosts Roxell John and Warren Ollivierre. Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Informative? Check. Interactive? Check. Heated and opinionated? Check. Look out for special guests each week. Log on and speak out by calling 529-8518 to the Sports Block. Saturdays, 6 to 9 p.m. only on Bay Hill News Network. The Sports Block. SVG's newest sports commentary program on Bay Hill News Network, featuring hosts Roxell John and Warren Ollivierre. Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Informative? Check. Interactive? Check. Heated and opinionated? Check. Look out for special guests each week. Log on and speak out by calling 529-8518 to the Sports Block. Saturdays, 6 to 9 p.m. only on Bay Hill News Network. The Sports Block. SVG's newest sports commentary program on Bay Hill News Network, featuring hosts Roxell John and Warren Ollivierre. Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Informative? Check. Interactive? Check. Heated and opinionated? Check. Look out for special guests each week. Log on and speak out by calling 529-8518 to the Sports Block. Saturdays, 6 to 9 p.m. only on Bay Hill News Network.
this evening, because we've been really throwing out a lot of stuff. We got the ideas from Coach Mercury about what is required to take the team to another level. We talked about equality and equity during our discussions with the officials that are part and parcel of the inaugural men's netball championship that will be held here. Now we're going into some deeper educational stuff, and we have one of the most decorated Vincentians as it relates to sports education with us for the next 15-20 minutes or so. A clinical exercise physiologist. He's a clinical director. He functions in a lot of capacities as it relates to making sure that the performance and exercise performance of athletes happens. He does exercise performance testing, pre-performance evaluation, coaching, education. He has been teaching sports medicine and exercise science at leading universities in North America, in the District of Columbia, including the Howard University Department of Health and Human Performance, as well as the Trinity Washington University Health and Nursing Professions. He has contributed in a professional manner to St. Vincent and the Grenadines in terms of the women's basketball team. He has done some consulting work with the director of sports in Anguilla, and has volunteered in a lot of ways as well. He holds a master's in exercise sciences from the Howard University and a bachelor's in sports psychology or in psychology from the Hunters College City University of New York. We're talking about none other than Leroy Jody Nicky, and he's with us tonight. Jody, good evening and welcome to the Sports Block.
Good evening. Thanks for having me.
Well, Jody, tonight we have two very simple things we want you to dwell into as we talk about sports education. You had an opportunity to look at the outline and the program being done at the college now, offered last September 2021, the Associate's degree in Sports Sciences. What's your impressions? What's your suggestions? What do you think about what we're trying to do here now in this program?
Let me begin by saying this. I think the programs that you have on tap right now are fundamental programs that are needed if anyone is to advance in sports science or in sports education, period. There needs to be this understanding of the psychology of sports, which, when looking at your program, it's clearly defined in there. One of the fundamentals that's needed is anatomy and physiology, as well as an understanding of the basics of biomechanics. The program that you developed, Roxell, is, it's been about 2 months now I had this program, and I had a chance to kind of look over it. And I think what you have there, the fundamentals, the skeleton, the bones of it, it's a wonderful program that you've developed.
Okay, great. But how do we advance this now to actually making it something that is conducive not only to students who want to become coaches, who want to become teachers, who want to go into sports psychology, but also affect what is happening in our national teams?
Yeah. I'm just going to back up a bit, and I'm just gonna. I tend to do a lot of my lectures just stories.
Yes.
I want you to think about sports tourism, and I want you to think about generally how we get individuals trained on the island in a capacity that we can say that they're highly trained and they're highly sought after throughout the region. And one of the fundamental things, and I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but one of the fundamental things we must accomplish initially is to get accreditation.
Yes.
We have to have programs recognized by other universities. We have to have programs that are going to be recognized when students leave, that they're going to, their credits will transfer, allowing them to advance their degrees seamlessly. And that's number one. But when you look at sports tourism, um, we've been pushing generally throughout the pre-pandemic this idea of having individuals use St. Vincent as a place for perhaps warm weather training. This can be accomplished by the foundation that you are setting in place, you're putting in place now, because we want to have professionals that we can market and have lend their services or sell their services to individuals that are coming on island. We also have this issue of our students that weren't able to go back to schools during the pandemic and had to remain on island. Having trainers that are certified in the areas that are equivalent to the coaches that they would have in their overseas programs to facilitate their training. That's something that we ought to be looking forward to making a reality. Um, Overall, just having the professionals on the ground to build this comprehensive program around the athletes themselves allows us to not seek other shores to train our people, and in some cases exploit them. You know, not to sound negative here, but
You're correct.
to ensure that our products are grown by us. We have the expertise to ensure that they can, everyone aspires to do what Jamaica's done with their sprinting.
Yes.
And there is no reason why we couldn't do the same if we began to train our athletes or young people to become professionals that surround or insulate or build this environment around the athlete to produce over the coming years a world-class athlete, someone that stands on a podium. So I think we begin to look at the sports tourism in itself in terms of what, when we train our athletes, what that can bring to us in St. Vincent. Pre-pandemic, some of the numbers looking at the U.S. in itself, sports tourism brought them about 9.4 billion dollars. And tourism across the globe is roughly a 1.5 trillion dollar industry globally.
Yes.
When we look at the tourism around recreational sports and travel, about 94,000 American golfers travel to Britain every year to play golf. The Honolulu Marathon brings in the economic impact on Honolulu is about $86 million, where most of these individuals are Japanese, spending about $68 million in Honolulu during this one event itself. We know that the industry around youth travel in the US is about a $7 billion industry. We are at a place where we have the environment, and I think we need to begin to think about the infrastructure as being the people and educating the people so that they can facilitate, where they can begin to build this tourism industry that we want to see, where we can invite folks and we have the expertise. I know of one young lady that recently went to, I believe it was Canawan, and she is a personal trainer there in St. Vincent. Received her certifications online, and was someone referred her to a client that was traveling to Canawan that was spending time on the island and needed a personal trainer. And this young lady was able to travel to the island and train this person for a set period of time. And the monies that this individual would have otherwise been paying in a gym or paid elsewhere, she paid to this young lady. So I think just the opportunity for us to be able to have more of this occur, because St. Vincent is a beautiful place. We have airports that are opening up. We have flights that are coming down. Many people are going to want to travel to St. Vincent. Some people want to have their vacation, but they want to continue to exercise. As you begin to train people, these are avenues that can open for them. And shameless plug, that young lady's name is Deloni Sam, and
Yes.
she's done a wonderful job of educating herself around this, receiving her certifications, and continue to progress. But I think this something that we, as the college begins to train these individuals, this is something we can look forward to expanding in the future.
Wonderful. Co-host with me this evening is none other than Warren Ollivierre. Warren.
Well, Jody, let me say good night to you again. Roxell,
good night, sir.
I've had the privilege to see Jody do some of his work. It's incredible to see the professionalism and to see some of the what you would the bigger countries. Let's use football for instance. The tests that you would see on YouTube and so on. To see it actually done here with your own two eyes was something really good for me. And I know the other person that was involved because Jody would have done a little bit of work for the SVGFF in helping the senior men's squad
right.
to do some testing and so on to show the importance of what we can expect from some of the athletes, what they can do, what they may not be able to do physically, and so on. And it was really something to see, and we now realize that we're a bit behind in this aspect, the sports education aspect, the sports science aspect. So hearing that the college is gonna take a venture towards this, I think is absolutely great and is necessary.
Yes, definitely, Jody. You Jody, you spoke about accreditation, and let's inform the public here that we were in discussions with the National Academy of Sports Medicine through your connection and through your involvement as it relates to trying to get this applied associate sports degree in sports sciences, associate's degree in sports sciences accredited, and we also are working at trying to get you and NASM to be part and parcel of offering the students who are the people who are not full-time students at the college a summer program here. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so the National Academy of Sports Medicine, they've been looking at the Caribbean for some time because this is uncharted waters for them. So they offer a series of courses, starting with the personal trainer, moving all the way up to corrective exercise specialists and cancer specialists and so on. What we're proposing is that outside of, in conjunction with the college and outside of the actual associates program itself, that individuals that are not students in the college can actually register for courses that would be offered over the summer in a month of Saturdays, where you would sit through these programs that would be brought to you by professionals that are accredited by the National Academy of Sports Medicine, vetted properly, and are specialists in the particular areas that they're teaching. These courses will run for roughly about 4 hours each Saturday. Individuals will get theoretical as well as hands-on training. And at the end of this, there is an accreditation exam. That accreditation exam affords you the right to, once you've passed, that certificate is good in all of North America. And I don't want to say that Australia, I want to say that they are part of it as well, but I'm not sure if there's anything additional that they require. What this means is that with these certifications from the National Academy of Sports Medicine, anywhere in North America that you take this certificate, it is valid and you can use it for work. We think that I'm not promoting that you actually leave the island with the certifications, but this is a way for us to actually train individuals on the island in these specialities that they can then use to improve the environment of sport in St. Vincent and the Grenadines itself, or throughout the larger Caribbean region.
And what are we looking at as it relates to a cost possibly for this 2 months summer program?
Yeah, I'm not sure what you you worked out with them the last time, but the rough fees were anywhere from $400 to $500 for non-students.
Right. So this is,
and that would be U.S.
yes, and I think we went a little lower than that because we understood the economics and the pandemics and stuff
Yes.
that we were coming off of. So it may be a little bit more reasonable in terms of the pockets, the requirements from the pockets. But we are looking to go forward as it relates to the science of the sport, because we need individuals to come out of these two programs and be able to be attached to schools, attached to national teams, and so that the vision that we want to see with the national football team, the vision in terms of scientific structure and preparation that Rex is trying to achieve with your players, that is not only seen in football and is not seen as something that we should be afraid of, but something that we should just easily adapt and easily encourage around our setups.
Jody, you were here what, in 2019, 2020?
I believe it was 2020. It may have been 21.
21, right.
Left before 22, right before 22.
So,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if our national associations understand the importance of persons like Jody. The sciences behind the sport, the sciences behind what makes the athlete, or what makes the athlete an elite athlete, not just a good athlete, but an elite athlete. I don't think our associations embrace the skill, the information, maybe because they don't understand the information. Maybe some of the coaches doesn't understand the information, but like people like us who are students of the game, who are of sport, who study sport in depth, Jody is massive for us, because then
The Sports Block.
players have little niggling issues. If their performance, what we can expect as peak performance and so on during a given time, putting them through different tests. And Jody can expand on this. There's also the preventative side, right? Where we can test an athlete and say, okay, no, this athlete is probably injured, or he's been overloaded to a certain extent, and we need to scale down on the load so we don't injure him, because we need him for a longer period of time. Jody would expand on that a little bit, but I am thinking here locally in St. Vincent, the general public, or the administrators of our sport don't understand the importance of the sciences and the people like Jody who could give us the necessary information so we could take our good athletes and make them elite. So we could also, and the thing is, there's also a level of professionalism that the player themselves mentally would take to. So think about it. Local clubs, and we're going to use football, local clubs don't do these tests. You come to the national team, you're subjected to some of these tests and so on. Psychologically, what do you think it does for them?
Oh, yes,
They would be thinking, look, this is a higher level.
yes.
So if they want to keep certain things, they're gonna put everything in there, because they're now seeing, okay, the national associations are actually looking out for our health, because they're putting us through a series of tests just in case we may have issues, may have heart conditions, etc. So Jody, I don't know if you can speak to some of this, and so the general public could have an idea as to some of the things that you would have done.
Yeah. In this, Warren, I think one of the ways that You don't have to ever make that a coach understand and educate. And when I say educate, it means that there are many individuals that need to get this information. That I'm sure there are folks listening that would say, I would like this. However, we have to begin to design, get this information down. I'm sorry, I think I cut out there for a second. Are you still hearing me?
Yes, we're hearing you.
Yeah. We have to get this information down to the grassroots, and I don't think we are above community meetings and you bring in local coaches or even individuals that might say this sounds interesting, and having this general conversation with them in their comfort zones and explaining the sciences in ways that they're definitely going to be able to receive, answering some of their questions around the things they don't understand. That will go a long way in helping us to push this forward. And I think that's an approach we may have to look at in the future. But to speak to your question about what some of the testing will allow us to do, initially when we came there, one of the major goal, the outcome that we wanted was to begin to develop programs based on individual physiological responses to stress and exercise. And we also wanted to take a look at and have the coaches understand what it looks like when certain variables are placed in the equation of designing a program. What the sleep variable, the nutrition variable, the overuse and previous injuries, what those look like when developing a program. So we once upon a time there was this, we looked at a program for an athlete, and we said that everyone on the ground at the time of practice would receive this particular exercise regimen.
That's correct.
What the science now is affording us to do is that the technology allows us to look at the individual, look at their limits, and begin to train them on their individual levels. Which means that if you are giving everyone 15 sprints, it may be 5 individuals in that group that it may be beneficial for them to do 5 sprints or 6 sprints, but they get the same work as the other individuals given their physiological limits. Whereas if you were to give them 15, you would actually be putting them at it would be more, for lack of a better term, it would affect them negatively. So you have to know when exercise is terminated. There's technology that will allow us to do that. We are able to look directly into the muscle, look at when it's using oxygen, when it's unable to use oxygen, look at the factors that are affecting the use of oxygen or lack thereof. We're able to look directly at the respiratory system. It gets a glimpse of the anaerobic and aerobic functions, where those limits are, where that switch takes place, where the person stops using carbohydrates predominantly, switches over to oxygen consumption, how much carbohydrate, what that capacity looks like for them to use carbs. So it allows you as a coach to be able to, within 90 minutes, you know what it looks like when your athlete is tired. Physiologically, we're sitting looking at it on a computer and it says, Warren can't go anymore. Warren has given all that he can give. It's going to take Warren 2 days to recover from this load. So the science has been, it's been there and it's been used, and it's actually being used. Some of the teams that we go up against in qualifiers are using this, and they know their players.
Say that again, Nikki.
Whereas,
say that again, Nikki.
Go ahead, sorry.
So
I was saying to say that again.
I'm a bit sad now. You know why? I'll tell you why. You were here doing some work with the SVGFF to do some testing of the players. For some reason or another, they haven't received the bit of information that we're getting here now very well. I'm not sure why or whatever, but our female team went to Honduras recently.
The Sports Block.
They look absolutely tired. So there are no measurables for the coach to go on Whereas you could have said, somebody trained by you, who was probably attached to the team, could have said, you know what, you guys shouldn't train
on Monday evening, exactly,
because this and this and this and that. These are the variables. Yeah. We just check the players. We put them through some tests when we came off the plane, and they won't be any use to you if you put them through a training session right now. Or we have these couple players that we think could actually go on the field and do some individual training. And again, I would have seen some of the results from some of the testing that you would have done, which we would have had our conversations, and I would have expressed to you that these are so important, because we could see actual differences in each individual player as the tests were being done. And it makes me really sad, because I'm thinking you are somebody trained by you, or somebody trained in the field of sports sciences and so on, should be attached to the SVG Football Federation, or to the many sporting disciplines in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, whether it be swimming, athletics, whatever. So we could see these variables. So the coach, even if the coach doesn't exactly understand the numbers, maybe it can be explained. Well, not maybe, it would be explained by the sports scientists, that these are what the numbers represent, which you did for me. I knew it a little bit to a certain extent, but when you went in depth, the things that we did not understand, the things that we would normally not see, the preventive side, where players, the fine line that we walk between players getting injured and not, a peak performance and not, it was like night and day looking at the results on paper. And again, other countries are using it, and you are here, so why are we not utilizing you as a Vincentian person and to give us that kind of help? And it makes me absolutely sad to know that you're there and we're not utilizing you.
Warren Morkery said something earlier, and I think sometimes it is that, what you and Roxell are doing, setting this foundation. It may happen in the next year, it may happen in the next 2 years, but I think the foundation is being set, and there will come a time where the exercise science is going to be a fundamental part of the program. And I think, as you all are doing now, educating the public about what's out there and what's presently being used, we have to continue, and we have to have this conversation with the FF and all the other federations, and because you're often uncomfortable with things that you don't understand, and correct. I think in some cases they may not have a full grasp of what this technology can actually do, and I think further conversations are warranted with them in a space where they're comfortable and they're able to ask questions that will allow them to get a deeper understanding of this. And I think that's the only way we move forward. Because if we don't, we'll be having this conversation in circles over and over.
Yes, well, Jody, we definitely agree with you. And guess what? We're gonna have to bring you back. We're gonna have to bring you back in a couple of weeks' time, because we need more than 20 minutes with you. We need a good hour with you to go through this thing about the sports sciences and how important it is. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen, on the sports block we have Jody Nicky, one of our most decorated sports medicine, sports physiotherapists, anything as it relates to sports science. This is the man that you need to contact, Leroy Jody Nicky. Look out for our summer program coming this summer in collaboration with the National Academy of Sports Medicine. Jody Nicky is spearheading that. And remember, the St. Vincent Grenadines Community College, we are offering the Applied Associates degree in sports sciences. First batch of students just finishing up their first semester, and this is going to be offered again from from September coming. These are the ways and the means in which we need to go forward in terms of making sure that sports science become part and parcel of our daily life, daily plate of food, so to speak, for our athletes and our coaches, etc. Jody, in closing, a few words as we thank you.
Oh, I appreciate you guys having me here, and I appreciate what you're doing, Roxell, you and Warren. I think this is needed, and I look forward to seeing it expand.
Well, the expansion will come with your involvement. I want to thank you for being part and parcel of it, and we'll definitely be in touch and have you with us again in the very, very near future.
Thank you, Jody.
My pleasure, gentlemen. No problem.
Wonderful, wonderful. Our time is going. We have 5 minutes. We're going to go very, very quickly. We can't go out without going to the Carifta. We had a discussion with Team Athletics Technical Director Chester Morgan. We want to go straight to that once our technician is ready. He'll tell us when he's ready. But so far today, results from the Carifta Games for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I'm going to need my all force of this one. In the girls heptathlon on the 20, Gaylon John, she did 17.61 seconds in the 100 meters hurdles. In the under 20 boys octathlon, Kurt Hamlet, he had a run of 11.78 in the 100 meters, and a long jump, was measured at 5.69. In the under 17 girls 100 meters heats, Shante Matthias, she did 12.31, qualified for the semifinals, and in the semifinals she did 12.11. She qualified for the finals. She's qualified for the finals of the under 17 girls 100 meters. On the 20 boys, 100 meters heat, Kyle Lawrence did 10.89, qualified for the semifinals. In the semifinals, he did 10.77, but did not get into the final. Devon Rick Mack, he also did 10.97 in the preliminaries for the under 20 boys 100 meters. 400 meters, we had AJ Delplesh 51.11 and Jaheim Harry 51.65 in the 400 meters under 17 boys. They didn't get into the finals of that event. Grenisha Thomas, she did a 58.49 in the preliminaries of the girls under 20 400 meters. Did not get into the finals. So this is some of the items that we have. We did have an interview with the audio interview with Chester Morgan. We were trying to get that file for you once we get it up. And we also did have a video of Kyle Lawrence's 100 meters run, which we can bring because we spoke to Lance Whitaker at Sportsmax and from Sportsmax. They gave us permission to run the feed with the compliments and permission of Sportsmax. We're going to bring you the interview from Chester, then the video, and then we close off.
Than if you run on a grass surface. So again, the programs that Team Athletic SVG has been putting.
The Sports Block.
Good afternoon, Mr. Morgan, Technical Director of Team Athletics SVG. As the Vincentian team, they would have left on Thursday afternoon for Jamaica for the Carifta Games. First question is, we have in recent times the largest contingent going to the Carifta Games. Is this a reflection of the progress we are seeing in St. Vincent and the Grenadines as it relates to track and field?
Yes, my name is Chester Morgan, the Technical Director of Athletics. Putting into your question, yes, track and field making a uprise, a upsurge, because the programs, the coaches, and also the athletes who are dedicated to work day in and day out. Also, it can be a reason because of the new synthetic track that we just got, because more athletes are tuned to compete, since it's a surface that helps you to run much faster rather than if you run on a grass surface. So again, the programs that Team Athletic SVG has been putting in place, the summer camps and these supports that they have been given to the coaches, have been a major factor for the uprise in the sport as a whole.
Secondly, Mr. Morgan, can you identify in what events do you think St. Vincent and Grenadines has the best possibilities of medaling? And of teen athletes, could you just give us about 3 or 4 of them who definitely should be highlighted as they represent St. Vincent in Jamaica over the weekend?
Well, everyone has the potential to medal. It all depends on the state of mind that the athlete is in at the moment, and also how he do his tactic in terms of race tactics and so on. The 15-member squad has the potential to gain medal.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines have just completed its local track and field season, one truncated because of the coronavirus, but Team Athletics did have the opportunity to complete a number of activities on the weekend. How did you see this track and field season 2021-2022, and what are the possibilities of having a much better season next year?
The 2001, well, we can say 2020 to 2021 season has been a wonderful season for us. During the COVID period, we had numerous activities which saw an increase in mass participation in terms of athletics kids and from different levels. So in the season that ahead, we are looking to plan more events and even to do it at a later stage on the weekend where parents and get schools involved, so that we can continue the progress that we are making.
And finally, we would just like you to shout out the Vincentian public, give them something to inspire them to be in tune on television, on radio during the weekend as our representatives are in Jamaica doing their due.
Well, I urge the Vincentian public to support these kids, give them your support, they will need it. It is one of the most hostile ground in terms of track and field, in terms of noise and audience, and this could be something that they are going to meet for the first time, because we have a lot of newcomers into the setting up, so we need our Vincentian public to cheer them on. If we self on a little post, and no matter what the outcome of the day, you still give them your support, because the ambassador who are representing us, so we need to give them your full support.
The Sports Block.
Went back to his home country for their Carifta trials and ran 10:54 with a positive 2.3 behind him.
As a legal 10.71, dangerous.
Indeed. Final heat in the under-20 boys, 100 meters. 3 short to go through to the semi-finals, plus the next 4 fastest on times.
Set.
Off they go. And Krumi got up well. Daniel of Dominica on the inside also going well. Jaden Reed steps forward now. And Krumi eases through in qualifying. Jaden Reed following him. Negative 2.1 meters per second, the wind speed. Boagie and Krumi coming through at 10.65.
Very fast starter, gets out to the blocks very quickly, gets the 50 and 60 in control, and then checks his wing mirrors, sees no one around him, and keeps on flowing. It's like he's stretching out his left leg. Here's the start one more time. Daniel Dowie, out fast, takes care of business from the beginning.
Yes, guess what needed to be done early, switched out last minute for Brian Lavelle, and gets the job done. Important for him to represent and get himself into the semi-final. It's a great run for him there.
Bouagie and Kumi of Jamaica securing his spot in the semi-finals of the 100 meters for under 20 boys, with Jaden Reed of the Cayman Islands following him.
I think they call him Dr. Speed at Kingston College.
Negative 2.1, 10.65 for Bouagie. Jaden Reed, 10.81. Kyle Lawrence of St. Vincent and the Grenadines qualifies at 10.89. Shamar Horatio of Guyana in fourth position at 10.99. He will have to wait and see if that 10.99 is good enough to get him into the semi-final.
Right, we're back. That video was a compliment of Sportsmax, permission given and granted for us to run that, and we did have some pretty good comments there from our technical director of athletics here in St. Vincent Grenadines, Chester Morgan. We've gone over our time, and we've gone over our stay here at the Bay Hill Tree Bar, one of our sponsors. Remember, you need to get your chicken and fries, your shark and fries, your fish and fries.
I already have mine.
Oh my word of mercy! I can.
So make sure you come here. It's open and everything is hot. Come and get your shark and fries, your chicken and fries, the fish and fries right here at the Bay Hill Tree Bar. Come down and support Dan. And look, it's been great. I don't know about you, Roxell, but I had to get mine. Now. So
before it's all gone.
That's correct.
And this is what we're about. We're about nutrition, we're about fitness, we're about the sports sciences here on the Sports Block. We've had a wonderful evening. And we're just about to close off. I know we haven't touched a few things, but next week we're going to dive into the career of the performances. We're going to speak about Mariquois. We're going to have Officer Decent here and that primary school competition that is just finished. And we're going to have a few more guests on. This has been edition number 2 of the Sports Block. I'm Roxell John.
I'm Warren Ollivierre.
And we are logging off. And thank you for logging on to the Sports Block Edition 2. We'll be back next week Saturday. Remember, our major sponsors, Splectra Plus and the Bay Hill Tree Bar. See you next week.
Oh God.
Big up the chef.
Next.
While you're drinking.
Drinks, bring drinks.
Cool place to relax with natural cool breeze and friendly surroundings? Then check the Bay Hill Tree Bar, located at Bay Hill Cane Garden. We have everything a bar will have. We also sell Shell 20 pounds cooking gas at the Bay Hill Tree Bar.
Yes, so what did I require?
I'm gonna ride wrong here, go sit down. Okay. Right until I don't.
Great news! Spectra Plus is now rolling out internet and TV services in St. Lucia and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Yes, better service and better prices from the new and improved Spectra Plus. Spectra Plus TV plans for $59.99 per month, VAT included. Adult TV 3 channels plus $29.99. For more information, call 1784-534-2551 or 1784-532-2501. Fast, reliable broadband and television services for your home or business. Spectra Plus TV, internet, better.
The Sports Block. SVG's newest sports commentary program on Bay Hill News Network. Featuring hosts Roxell John and Warren Ollivierre. Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Informative? Check. Interactive? Check. Heated and opinionated? Check. Look out for special guests each week. Log on and speak out by calling 529-8518 to the Sports Block. Saturdays, 6 to 9 p.m. Only on Bay Hill News Network. The Sports Block. SVG's newest sports commentary program on Bay Hill News Network. Featuring hosts Roxell John and Warren Ollivierre. Saturdays, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Informative? Check. Interactive? Check. Heated and opinionated? Check. Look out for special guests each week. Log on and speak out by calling 529-8518 to the Sports Block. Saturdays, 6 to 9 p.m. Only on Bay Hill News Network.